Give me a minute. I want to respond to Mr. Rendell's question or point here. He says, what if Trump is actually a Russian resource? The way he is arranging things for Putin, robbing Ukraine of resources. He now sits with absolute power. We shudder here. Pal, if you guys are shuddering, can you imagine how Americans of conscience that are paying attention are shuddering? We're watching all of the progress of the last 80 years of the post-World War II rules-based order torn apart, absolutely ripped asunder with no thought. Well, no, there is thought. There is thought. Now look, I can't say that there is a smoking gun that positively proves Donald Trump is in Putin's pocket. But he's in Putin's pocket. Whether it's willingly, because of some coercion, or whether he is just a useful idiot, hell-bent, driven by his own ego to be God of the world, doesn't matter. He is a Russian asset. Now, what is the evidence that we can point to say he's a fucking Russian asset? We can go all the way back to 1987. 1987, Donald Trump made his first trip to Moscow. Who arranged that trip? The KG fucking B. It's 1987. You don't just go to Moscow, right? Donald Trump did. And when he came back, what did he do? He ran for president, right? Everybody forgets. He ran for president. It was a short, quickly aborted run because at the time, he was a fucking joke. He was a clown. Nobody took him seriously. In the 90s, when I lived in Manhattan, he was the butt of every joke because he's a worthless piece of shit, as he demonstrates daily. 1988, aborted run for president. What kind of a platform did he run on? Kowtowing to the Kremlin. He ran a full-page ad, $1.2 million in 1987 dollars. Full-page ad in the Washington Post saying that America should get out of NATO. And that has been, and look, destroying NATO, driving a wedge between the United States and Europe, that has been Russia's goal. Now Russia, I absolutely believe this with all my heart. And the documents to prove it are just 600 miles away, sitting in Moscow in the Kremlin. I know they are. Now, the plan is Trump forcibly annexes Canada and Greenland, consolidating his fascist regime, his imperial ambitions in North America, while Russia splits Europe up, divides it, and extends its sphere of influence over Europe. I am absolutely convinced that this is the big squeeze that Trump and Putin have planned for Europe and the United States. And make no mistake, everything that Trump is doing in the United States, it looks insane, right? It looks crazy. It looks like, how could anybody be doing these stupid fucking things that are going to wreck the economy? It's on purpose. What did the Russian oligarchs do after the fall of the Soviet Union? They drove down the value of the ruble. They wrecked the economy so that they could buy everything up cheap and concentrate wealth in the hands of 400 people. 400 people, this is not an exaggeration, 400 people inside of Russia own 99.98% of the wealth. You think we have wealth inequality now in the United States? Trump is wrecking the economy on purpose so that he can concentrate the wealth in the hands of a few. They can all buy up all the failed companies he's going to bankrupt with his tariff bullshit and create a permanent underclass that he and his cronies will have to and be able to buy and sell at will, because that's ultimately what he wants. He wants to be able to treat people like cattle, like a commodity that he can buy and sell. So make no mistake, the U.S. federal system has been subverted in the re-election of Donald Trump. It is not America that is in charge anymore. It is the Kremlin. And they are directing the destruction of America from inside the Oval Office. And the sooner Americans come to terms with this, the sooner Americans realize that they have been suckered by the Russians into hating themselves and putting this populist piece of shit, this 300 pounds of dog shit in a cheap suit behind the Resolute desk. And they get him the fuck out of there and put him in jail where he belongs, the fucking felon. The better off we will all be. Him and his cronies. They gotta go before it's too late, America. Before it's too fucking late.